What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Just so you're aware, there seems to be rolling power outages starting in Texas, down in Austin right now. XQC seems to be having trouble streaming, so if my stream upload or my video upload schedule seems a little weird, that's probably what's going on. The moment I get power, if we get outages, I'm going to be turning on that light, sweat beating down. These are going to be a lot less thought out because I'm not going to be doing multiple takes, so bear with me. But heating up just like Texas is the market on OTS Pack 16, the most hype-beasted OTS pack of all time, mayhaps, and Forbidden Droplet has a week 1, I guess, buyout here already. OTS pack did get in some people's hands early, so its timing's been interesting. I thought Cyber Dragon would be atop the set pretty solidly, but Droplet does not have its Battles of Legend reprint. The other version of Droplet's still pretty much triple digits, around the $100 as far as I'm aware, and then you also see Firewall Dragon around the $75 price point. The bum ulti of a set happens to be a protagonist ace monster, basically, although we'll argue that's Decode Talker for now. Nerval actually is up a couple dollars in price from when I last saw it too, but we can click now and see a nice price history and see that it's not just people getting together and pulling their listings, but actual sales that happened to get us to this point. Tons of droplets selling around $250 to $270 and crazy prices leading to these $300 copies. Now, my thoughts are this. If you've been to the live streams, I've been talking about how guessing what would happen with this OTS pack is like throwing a dart at a dartboard, and all you can do is assume the outcomes that could happen. I don't think Cyber Dragon will get down to $155. I think it's low, might have been $175, but if people see it dip under $200, they might jump at it. Droplet here was down at $250, and people went, you know what? That's the price I thought about. Oh, I see it going. There's less of them. I gotta get mine. Or it could have just been a couple of rich people all together doing the buyout themselves, thinking that it's mega stonks. We don't know specifically still the data on the back end of how many people happened to buy this, but we do know that it got bought out, and that OTS Pack 16, if you can get a box sealed, I think that's definitely something worth keeping if you could rack up those reward points, say, from remote dueling and not get a shady shop actually selling their OTS packs. Jokes aside, though, Nerval being up a couple dollars isn't too surprising either. I think Tri Brigade's super exciting, and the hollow foil looks so amazing. I saw one of these get pulled. The light up on the eyes and what he's holding, the grenades, it looks like they look amazing. So I'm not too shocked to see this near that price, and we should see some sales more around 10, 10.50, and now it's towards 12. So yeah, it's up a couple of dollars. And people saying the back end of this wasn't amazing on the supers. Hello, you have King One, you have King of the Skull Servants, really cheap in my opinion. And the Drytrons aren't exciting for everybody, but they're still pretty good hollow pulls. And excuse me a little bit. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit different this week. It is really hot out there. Alright, Solemn Judgment has an ultimate rare buyout here, and it's gone pretty crazy in price. Solemn Strike got one not too long ago, so I'm not especially shocked, but it is still very early for a buyout on OTS Pack 12, but we're in a brave new world where ultimate rare set drops and people go after their cards. Ultimate rare Regeki, maybe for past formats. I really don't like how this one actually looks, but that title ultimate rare is special here in the TCG, and it matters how a card is limited and its legacy rather than its actual looks. I just think it's ugly. It is around $135 to $140. I mean, it could peel off a ban list of 3 at some point too and be super stonks if we're talking ban list speculation, but I would assume this is for past formats being more exciting, being more pushed by Twitch streamers, being more pushed in the community as a whole, and I think that's a great thing. Whenever formats get a little bit slower or people want to explore other options, past formats are super freaking nice, and Regeki is one of the oldest power cards there is. New support equals prices go burr. We've seen that time and time again. The Agent of Creation Venus, I think, was chilling around $4 to $5. Then it got announced, and you can see now it's around $9, $10. Oh, we have that handy tool here where we can actually see the past few days' sales. And yeah, some sold at that $5, $6 range, but a ton actually selling at its new price. Interesting. People want the holofoil version. Agent of Uranus, smile, good old 5th grade jokes. It's also lower on quantities and up in price. And the Agent of Mystery Earth, it only has one printing as a holo, although me and the stream seem to remember this getting rewaved. They only come first edition. They're around $2, and I do to $3 is still pretty good for a holo of an amazing tuner that's also a searcher that you'll probably still be playing in modern agents, even if it got a common reprint. Sanctuary in the Sky, of course, a huge focus of agent support, and now it can be in the graveyard. People going for this retrain win. Please announce a retrain for the structure, and please announce it as a structure force. But we do see it has different versions, and a lot of them actually going down in quantities despite those different versions. And of course, the original bought out to the moon like crazy. Let's see if there even is a first edition left by some quote-unquote seller trying to get that bag. Yeah, $45, $60, understandable, have a nice day. Celestial Night Lord Parsoth is a penny stonk in a sense that you have the synchro that copies effects, and this allows you to search Sanctuary in the Sky, and especially if that retrain is treated at all times, that'd be amazing. And then you do have a card that is a continuous spell, treated as Sanctuary in the Sky on field or graveyard, with that or graveyard effect being very important to the new type. I don't think we'll be foolish burialing this to the graveyard or anything crazy, but it is still notable that it's treated as both and doesn't have a terrible effect. Lightning Overdrive has some movement today. We do see Arlecchino and Ticket Time. I believe this was the cover of Cali Effects video. I haven't got to sit down and watch it. That's actually what I'll be doing after my upload. But I also have said that this engine seems super underutilized and underestimated, and I played against it. I got clapped. I've been playing with it. I've been enjoying it, and I do see why people are after it. So now it's around 27 to 28. I look forward to how it does play as a rogue to trying to be a meta deck slash engine, but I do think it's right now in the rogue category, but heavily underestimated. And Ticket Time is near $20 still for its version, and actually only one motivated seller here before it is 20 now. Interesting. Over in this entire section though, we're seeing prices go down. Diviner of Heralds cooling off to 70. Could it actually go down to 65? Ooh, that is a, Japanese version. Okay, dude, I got okie doked here live. Then we have 67, 68, 70s, but the competition's a lot more fierce on Lightning Overdrive as prices settle and people have started to get what they want, so that demand is down, but the box is actually up in price for the seal. That is eyebrow raising early. There's so many different good supports, but so many of them are lower rarity slash starting to get low in value, so it's interesting to see how this will play out and how penny stonks will actually go within this set versus what it is. Like, I think this guy is far undervalued, but then again, that's my player brain talking. You actually have to have the plant monsters rise up and do something pretty good. Pot of Prosperity is 105 solid and seems to be going up. My thoughts are this: when we get the announcement for IRL Yu-Gi-Oh, I think that this will be going up. You no longer have that price cap at events. Vendors can sell anything for any amount, and we saw with Lightning Storm, the 3 of that was really getting played by a ton of people, go up in price. I do think this is on a really good level of competitive play. Amazing. It goes along with the pot history of Yu-Gi-Oh, and in Blazing Vortex, I really don't like necessarily suggesting this one, but I could see an effect like Lightning Storm where this gets, you know, the first set that's not in the Megatons, and it has a Mega Chase card without much other value. It's very Ignition Assault-ish, and I do think the seal could go up over time, but the amount of time you're waiting versus the gamble versus everything else, I think your money's better spent elsewhere, but I do think on the singles for Pot of Prosperity, you're kind of stuck paying a price like this, and I think it's probably going to get even higher from here for how many decks are actually relying on its power. Speaking of back into metagames, Infinite Impermanence seems to be getting a little more traction. This was down to 18 solid, and this isn't the biggest, craziest thing, but it's around $20 now. You still see people with tons and tons of quantities on market, so I wouldn't be panicking and running out and getting yours, but if you are considering Infinite Impermanence as an option, I would get it sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you would already be buying. Dark Magician Ghost Rare has fallen back down under that $1,000 mark, and that's interesting to me because people tried to buy it back out above that, but you have more sellers creeping in, top rated 920 near mint, and then you have 948, 950, a lot of people creeping under there, so this is definitely one to watch as people are like thinking about, okay, I hope it falls back to 750, but if it does, I feel like those interested pockets are forcing this one. But Ghost from the Past still very hype beast for its sealed, and the ghosts are all that's really there to offer, as the singles don't even hit the $15 MSRP of the product let alone that juiced up price that still remains for the sealed. But it's actually been going down a bit over time, making people concerned over, oh, I was sitting on Ghost long term. I still think it will be very good long term. Look at Kaiba Collection, how it's tripled up. But this is still pretty insane for its early pricing versus estimated value pulled, and really doesn't come together at this current moment. And unavoidable, the Blue Eyes Masterpiece. You have auctions headed towards $5,000 right now, with others at Buy It Now sales going. This was a crap show. Let's be honest, and don't mix my words. Somebody was trying to say that I was like glorifying flippers, etc. No, you're gonna have competition no matter what on something like this. Bots are disgusting and should be punished. Any sales that are noted to bots by a company should be canceled, refunded, and you should relist in some way or form, like Gym Playmats does right now. Well, Gym Tech, my bad, we've evolved the names. But when it comes to stuff like this, you're going to have competition of people really wanting to keep something, and then people getting it to resell, and that reseller's market, depending on what the item is, can be insane like this. But I'm not defending them by saying that, but I am saying there is an ecosystem in which that exists that can actually be beneficial. This one is not it, though. Not at all. And I want to remind you of Konami's really smart wording here that it's 1,000 initial copies. They could release a couple more into the master line. If Konami's smart, this is what they're going to do, and I know they watch my channel. They're going to release 2 more and then revisit. So they're not going to immediately do this one if I was them. They would go, oh, here's Dark Magician Girl like the OCG, and here's Dark Magician for the trifecta. Maybe even do Red Eyes with the announcement of a rewave Blue Eyes. Like, initial copies means they can do whatever they want, whenever they want, but seeing how this went, they'll probably want to print a few more without doing rewaves before finally throwing it in. So that market that's going to develop in that time should be super interesting, but that is speculation on how they'll handle it, and we'll see if they just go ahead and print Blue Eyes again, or if they don't, and they actually just stick to it being truly limited, which I don't think they will. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this conversation. It's definitely way hotter in Texas right now than it has been in a while. We had a super cool May compared to usual, but now, yeah, it's getting hot in Texas and it's crazy out here. Thanks for watching, everybody.